All right, my first ever motor vlog. No freaking idea what the quality is like, so bear with me. My helmet's steaming up. I'm not going to go mad either because it's very cold and it's not nice, but it's my tyres aren't the best at the moment. I just wanted to take 20 minutes on the bike, talk about the Ducati 848 long-term review. I might go quiet in certain bits because I'm trying to get used to riding and talking, which I don't really do. But just to start with bike history, this is kind of the main one I've had for ages. Before this, I rode a few 50cc's when I was younger, and after that I had a Kawasaki Ninja 650 for about 6 months, and then a bit of a gap, and then onto this bad boy. Hopefully this sounds okay. Yeah, it's certainly treated me well. As you can hear, she rumbles pretty damn well. Plenty of grunt in her. But yeah, this is just to talk about what it's been like riding this bike for 2 years. I got her during lockdown, paid about 5,000 for her, which I thought was a pretty good steal. Still worth the same now, I think, or just a bit under. The first thing, which unfortunately is kind of a downer, I suppose I'll start with the downers, is it is so uncomfortable. I mean, when I say uncomfortable, I mean anything longer than an hour on this thing and you are just, you come out the most unflexible man in the world. So your knees are super high tucked up, very, very tucked up. I mean, you can't see them, but honestly, imagine sitting down on a chair and then lifting your legs, your knees up another like 20 inches. This is literally what it feels like. Hugely aggressive position, obviously being a sport bike. Very heavy on the wrists, heavy on the back, the neck, heavy on everything basically. There's not much that this bike in terms of comfort has. It's bare down to the bones, so you don't have any tech, no technology, no ABS, nothing, no modes. It's just you, the bike, and you hope and pray that you can ride it all right on the road. I should add, I'm not a techie vlogger, so I'm not going to go into the bike specifications. I think I know it's got roughly about 140 horsepower, obviously 848 or 850cc engine, because it's the Ducati 848. But that's pretty much all I can tell you, really. So I'm not going to be one of those vloggers that gets into the details, because I don't know them. I can just tell you how it feels and what it's like to ride. So, downsides. Comfort, the top downside there is. No really protection unless you're proper tucked down, but that's very uncomfortable. Yeah, heavy on the wrists, heavy on the legs. It's like you're riding a uncomfortable horse. In terms of other not nice features, I guess obviously not having any tech can bite you, I guess, you know, no ABS, no traction control, none of that. So on wet roads, on skiddy roads, it's just you and the bike, so there is a bit of getting used to that. But I guess I don't know any better, so it doesn't really matter for me. This obviously aligns with the comfort, but you don't want to take this on a long journey. I can guarantee you're not going to trek around Europe on this bad boy. Don't think you'll make it there, to be honest. You turn around and get a taxi home. Mirrors are okay, can't complain. Obviously no dashboard or anything, as I mentioned. I mean, downsides of really, the top one is just, it's just the comfort. There's nothing else really that is hugely horrible about it. You know, the bike is, this one is 2009, so it's 10, 13 years now, which is getting up there. I'm just gonna go and fill her up. Well, I guess that's another downside. Petrol tank, it's supposed to be 100 miles, but there's no chance you get 100 miles if you ride anything but very slow. If you ride normal and, you know, fast or whatever, obviously subjectively fast, everyone's got different speeds. I'm not a monster, I'm just average rider. You're going to probably last about 90 miles, I reckon, if not less. My helmet's fogging up, so I need to just slightly lift this. There you go. Can't see anything. So downsides, to recap: comfort, no tech, small tank for petrol. They got to indicate. I was about half hour late. Small tank for petrol, and I'd say that's it. So the main three negatives. I'm going to fill her up, and then I'm going to tell you the positives. And it's cold out, so I'm not going to be out for long. I've got a few layers on, but I'm just sneaking in because I can, because bikes can do what they want. Can I go in that one? Oh no. Oh, it's just card only. Well, I guess I can't do that, because I've only got my phone. Back on the road we go. Well, I guess I'll go straight into the positives then. Positives: price. You get what I think is not a lot on the bike, but you know, you get a top performance bike for less than £5,000, which you can't go wrong nowadays, since, you know, bikes cost more than, a lot of the bikes are starting to cost more than a really good second-hand car. So that's the downside. Sorry, another positive, that for less than £5,000 you get really good power and something to have a lot of fun on, and something that looks good, which is my second positive. You know, the bike, I think, looks yep, you're welcome, mate. I think the bike looks really good, gets looks, styled nice, considering it's, again, 13 years old. You know, Ducatis obviously know what they're doing when it comes to the looks department, as everyone can attest. It's meant for a track, you know, it's meant to ride on a track, and it's meant to be ragged about and meant to be utilised probably a lot more than I can utilise it. So that's sort of where it belongs. Well, there you go. Acceleration, I think, is really good. It's quite a nice, smooth engine, personally. So you've got power. For me, the power band feels fairly consistent throughout the rev range. So wherever I'm in first gear, obviously pulling off. Wherever I'm in second, third, maybe not at all rev ranges. I guess it's anything above 2,000 revs, then it pulls wherever you want it. I think top speed is still 150,000 miles an hour, but the bike has plenty of speed that obviously we don't go at. Wink wink. I mean, I've had a lot of fun on it. I just think that personally, I'm just ready for something more comfortable, just because I'd like to be able to use a bike more than just, you know, for an hour or so. God, I thought it was turning my way. You know, I'd like to be able to go on long trips, you know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours down to the seaside, or, you know, somewhere in the countryside, and I can't do that with this. I just can't. I would get there, but I would get there a broken man, which is obviously not what you want. So in addition, we talked about power, and again, this is just a quick one. I'm not going to go into too much depth here about the bike, because again, it's cold and I don't particularly want to be out there. I test rode a Super Adventure KTM 1290S this morning, and it had heated grips and the whole shebang, and it just makes you think what a bike should have. Bear in mind, that's 3 times more than what this offers you, and yet the power is fairly similar, but it's just the comfort. It's just the comfort, honestly. It's like being in a mini car on one of those bikes. I guess the sound is another positive. I mean, I'll open up here past this van so you can hear it. Plenty of fun on this bike, but you'll be sore doing it. That's the downside. I think it sounds awesome. I mean, it's just the stock exhaust. Everything on this bike is stock, apart from the levers, brake lever, clutch lever, because I dropped it after about month that I had it. Tried to put a rear wheel stand on it, dropped it, cried like a little baby. No, I didn't cry, but I was very upset. Took it to a great mechanic, fixed it all up, no dramas, and put these new levers on. But apart from that, it is stock. The only thing I'd spend on it is services, obviously. Lovely little village this, where my mum lives. But that's it, just a quick tour. I'm happy to go on a more in-depth one. I'll just cover the same points really. But this was just a test. It's my first ever vlog. It took me about I'd say kind of 3 months to figure out what the hell all the equipment was, but let's see how it goes. Cheers everyone. Goodbye.